Top quick reaction comment from Red Van Vliet. Quote, look, the refs were terrible and we were shorthanded, but a few things. One, Pascal has been amazing, but his fouling is an issue, and I'm not sure how to address it. Two, Fred and the team cannot defer to Pascal in the clutch. I don't care what his ISO stats are. We have seen enough of this. It is maddening at this point. The law of averages should have kicked in. It makes me want to scream. Let's give OG a shot at these game-winning / losing ISOs. Shame because he played great other than these two things. Three, Boucher is back and deserves a lot of praise. Four, Champagne should play before Svi and Utah. End quote. Number one is directly tied into your refs were terrible comment. And then secondly, this Raptors team as a whole has a fouling problem because they gamble, because they require incredible amounts of rotation and miles traveled every game from their players. And when you ask Pascal to be somebody who steps out on players at the wing, above the break, and then you ask him to be somebody who helps at the rim as a contester and a rebounder, this means he's going to be in motion all the time and not stationary. And this means that when you're in motion, you're a lot more likely to be called for a foul, especially defensively. So, yeah, Pascal, I do not have a problem with the fouling issue. It's, especially in this game, those two really tough calls. But also, you're not fixing this. The Raptors are in motion all the time defensively, and they have to have somebody come and rim contest. They need somebody to be near the bucket, and they've been asking Pascal to defend everywhere on the court and then help close possessions and contest at the rim. He's going to foul. If Boucher or Precious or Kem played the minutes that Pascal does or covered the ground that Pascal does, then if any, defender did that, you would see similar things. I mean, hell, if you can go look at Domantas Sabonis, who was like a miles traveled leader last year, played the same role defensively as Pascal last year under Nate Bjorkgren. He averaged 3.3 fouls per game, the same that Pascal is averaging this year. You will not get away from this problem until there's like a more normal situation at center, until one of Precious, Kem, or Boucher, and Boucher did in this game, emerges as a more stable presence at that position. They're going to ask a lot of Pascal, and Pascal is going to do his best to cover for that situation. But he's in a position where he is fouling all the time. But in this game, he's on the wrong side of a couple whistles. That was really, really too bad. But as far as in the clutch, I guess basically, it's different than what you said here because you say they're deferring to Pascal, and that's flatly false. They do not defer to Pascal. I think Pascal was one of three in the last 4 minutes, and they ran one primary action for him. That's something I count while I watch the game. They ran that pick and roll with Kem Birch with I think 50 seconds left in the game, and the Suns flattened it out. Pascal had Ayton in isolation and missed that mid-range jumper. But as far as what they were running mostly down the stretch was actions for Fred VanVleet that the Suns were doing a really good job of moving to second and third looks for the offense. And then so if you look at the possession he gets, around 4 minutes, he's getting, a post up with 6 seconds left on the clock. Is that a deferral if the Raptors have already used, 3/4 of the shot clock trying to get shots for other guys, mostly Fred VanVleet? Is that a deferral to Pascal Siakam? Was the screen where Pascal pushed Kem Birch away and he wanted to screen for Fred and then Pascal ended up scoring in the clutch? Was that a deferral, or was that, a screening action between the Raptors' two best players? When Pascal created the layup opportunity for Kem Birch after they, the Suns blew up a dribble handoff for Fred VanVleet and they filtered into a post up for Pascal because he happened to be on the strong side where Kem Birch had it, and Kem Birch is not going to be able to dribble to the other side of the court for anybody else against the Suns defense. And he gets the ball with 10 seconds left on the clock, draws a double and passes to Kem Birch for a layup opportunity that I think Kem got fouled on and obviously didn't make it. Is that a deferral? I don't think these things are deferrals. I think that the Raptors overwhelmingly, and including from Pascal, ran screening actions or handoff actions for Fred VanVleet, and mostly everybody was there to support those actions any way they could. I think that the clutch offense was overwhelmingly run for Fred VanVleet. Now, if you'd rather OG be the break in case of emergency guy who you want him to have the ball with 6 seconds left on the clock, maybe, but that is a completely different thing than just outright saying that Fred and the team defer to Pascal. That is not true, dude. That is such that that is so negative when you look at this game. I mean, dude, come on. Like, they're running actions for Fred. They want to get Fred downhill. They want to get Fred a jump shot opportunity. They want to get all that stuff going. And like, it was awesome that OG, which again, Pascal gets the ball, hands off to OG. OG hands off to Fred. That's their game-winning play, by the way. Like, when OG ended up getting the layup on the broken play because they blew up Fred's screening action, and OG, not Pascal, happened to be the guy closest to him, Fred passed to OG. So OG was the release valve of that action. And well, as Fred chose it, right? And that was with like 14 seconds left. That was not Pascal winning or losing ISOs. That was an isolation actually in a broken play for OG, and he scored. But yeah, I like if you say, hey, I want OG as like break glass in case of emergency guy, I think his shot making might have a little bit more pop at the end of games than Pascal's. Dude, sure. But to say that this team is deferring to Pascal is so negative towards Pascal and just false, dude. That is not fair. Why spin it this way? Why spin it this way? He got one primary action. In 4 minutes, they ran one screen and roll for him. Otherwise, he was being positioned to support Fred VanVleet if the Suns were able to move them off of their primary action. And the primary action is what they want. You have secondary actions just in case, but the primary action is what any offense wants. And they were running that for Fred. And he couldn't score. He couldn't create advantages. So, yes, it ended up going to Pascal. But that is not a deferral. That is a necessity, dude. And I wish he was better. Like, I wish it had gone better in the necessity. Like, he created one great look for Kim. And then he had, he had a layup that was a really, really great move off of when he slipped the screen off of VanVleet. But otherwise, he had that post up where he missed on Ayton. He got the ball with like 6 seconds left on the clock. I wish he had made that. Of course, I wish he was better, just straight up scoring on dudes, late in the game. And then he got one screen and roll that they flattened and he missed. But, deferral is, a weird slant. Like the whole team bows before Pascal and then, they look on begrudgingly as he fails them after they've deferred to him and his mighty, he owns this team. He gets the ball come hell or high water. Like, come on, dude. Fred is getting the all-star push. Fred is getting the attention. Fred is getting the primary actions. Just because Pascal was a great secondary option in this game and was like fantastic playmaking, especially from the interior, and just because he touches a ball on a possession doesn't mean that he's being deferred to. They ran one primary action, one primary action in 4 minutes of, possessions. I disagree with that heavily.